Hello, welcome back to Ben Sushi Live Noding. In this episode, we're gonna cover just a simple topic. It's how you can make array of like a voxel brick. There are many ways, of course, as you already know. If you just use a Blender as it is, you can use a modifier and just use array. And this is one of the easiest and the fastest way to do it. So you can do the array in X and make another array in Y, and then just change these directions and gives a little bit of offset and increase the number. So of course this is something that you can easily change. You can even add more array in the Z and things like that. And you can of course control this array modifier using sphere choke if you like. So just get the objects modifier count. So this what's the name of the modifier? So array X and array Y. Okay, let's save this real quick. So this is array voxel many ways, and switch to sphere choke, and then get the objects in, get selections. So these objects of course have modifiers, so we're gonna use object ID set, and this is the objects. What's gonna be modified is this guy right here, modifiers array x.name. So maybe we can copy the data path. If I'm not wrong, we can sometimes drag this value, but copy data path and then paste it here. Okay, that seems to be doing the job. And you can actually like chain the same objects over many modifier, over many nodes, and then you can use integer to control this modifier. So if you want to have like many of this guy with different random value, you can do that as well. So random number, make a two random number, and then get list item. So first item goes in there, and the second item with index 1 goes in here. Randomize the seed, and you can have random number of array. So like that, it's pretty simple and easy. And see, okay, I think something like this will work. So that's one way you can do it, but that's using Blender owns array modifier. Maybe I shouldn't delete it. Save this. I'm gonna save another file. Delete everything. And here I'm gonna use sphere choke modifier, sphere choke nodes, and vector P is what you probably want to use, or you can also use the grid, plain grid. So they're gonna generate like a very similar kind of point. If you right click on this and then connect to viewer draw, it's gonna create this node for you for viewer. And this one of course gonna generate grid, but you can perhaps just get the center points of it if you like, while this guy will generate actual kind of voxel area, kind of like a grid. Maybe we keep it simple and make the Z to 1 for now, and this one should be 0. So which one you prefer, plain or vector P, doesn't matter. If you want to get the center of each of these polygon, you can do that. Just get a center polygons and plug the vertices and polygons in there, and now you can have the center of each object, even though they look like slightly rotated. So they are actually kind of rotated, so just get their origins. So that's a little bit better. So now we have some kind of a voxel grid that we can control in terms of X and Y array. So that's the second way you can do this. But I think my favorite is using vector P field. And with vector P field, of course, you can just use another box, plug this in there, plug the box there, and let's see. We seem to have like some kind of gap. So the gap probably something that's controllable here. If you want it to be exactly. So 5 by 5. Okay, that seems to be covering it. So this should be like the X and Y dimension should be 1 unit higher than this value. So now you can maybe use some kind of integer number and use math. This should be subdivided by 1. Same with this guy. Collapse it. Plug this into. So this is, if this is the larger number, this is a smaller one. So there you go. That's slightly different, but this is also kind of nice. And if we bake, you can see this is the matrix kind of growing. If we bake it, we're gonna end up with a lot of objects. So that's kind of nice. But there's also one more ways you can generate like a voxel. That's actually the one that I want to kind of use. If I want to generate like a voxel, it's by using the Voronoi, and this is probably gonna be the most efficient. Sometimes this is the most efficient. Just use the Voronoi 3D. This is like a cell node, and so you need some kind of a volumetric, but you also have the vertex in. So the volumetric is gonna be can be a box. Let's say just create a box, plug into this guy, and then vertex in from vector P field goes in there. And let's look at the result. Okay, it's looking rather interesting there. Give it a different color. And there's a shrink control. But as I increase this, you can start to see the Voronoi actually is creating that kind of cut. If we actually scale this grid about the correct size, let's say like 12, and then I will apply matrix transformations and then scale it. Scale it like so, like a 0.5, I think, or 0.2. Apparently 0.1. This will kind of create an array of voxel. Actually 0.05. That's interesting. This size we need to control, and then the shrinkage. Maybe I make it too big. Let's actually check the actual points. So that's 14 by 8. Let's make it 8 by 8. Okay, now it's a lot simpler. There you go, 8. So that should be kind of like a voxel size. But if you make it smaller, I think some of them get a bit long. If we didn't shrink it, then that's kind of like a perfect size of voxel. This is 0.1 or a bit higher. Yeah, not sure the exact value, I think 0.1 for now. But this is like some kind of voxel, and then we can actually easily control the points from here. But I think this can be like really efficient if we have a lot of voxel, because this is still like a single objects and we don't have like a lot of transform. It depends on the number, I guess, but if we bake it, you see it's a single object, and if we smooth it, we get a lot of different box that we can use. And if we ever like randomize, we're gonna get some kind of Voronoi shape, which is what this is. This is what this node is actually for. So if we bake it out, we get that single objects, and if we smooth it, we get that kind of shapes. So it's a lot of like different way you can do. If you think about it in terms of voxel, and then you can easily turn it into a Voronoi using nodes like this. But yeah, that's, I guess, pretty much it for this improvisations live noding. Hopefully you find this useful. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.